Hi there and welcome back to Planet Property. It is the most glorious sunny spring day outside my window right now, and it just makes me feel so much better even though I am sat inside doing my work. So today, hang on, the Alexa's going. Apologies about that. That was my croissants being done in the oven. So I've already had breakfast, but this is my second breakfast. Because if I wasn't 5'10", I would be a hobbit. If you know, you know. The truth is, I'm running my first half marathon tomorrow, so I'm very much enjoying the whole let's carb load before. So I'm really excited about it. I am a bit nervous, especially because it's quite a hilly course. But yeah, I'm just really excited. I think it's going to be really good. And I've done the training, so yeah. Just give it a go. Just want to get around, to be honest, and get my medal. Anyway, we're not here to talk about croissants or running, though that would be great, wouldn't it? Today I thought I'd talk you through how I'm planning my revision for the APC. So in my last video I said, oh, written submission is coming up, I'm going to talk you through how I'm getting on with it and everything. That didn't happen. I filmed my last video 6 weeks ago, so even though it only went up last week, that was just a delay in getting it up. So basically it kind of took over my life. Turns out that working full time and writing your APC is quite hard. Because when I did my APC last year, I was given quite a lot of time at work to do it, whereas this time around, granted I've had a lot of base material to work from, but I've had to solely do it in evenings and weekends, and that's hard. It's really hard, especially because when I was doing APC this time last year, we were in full lockdown, so there actually wasn't anything to do. Whereas this year I've had events, I've had plans, I'm running a lot for my half marathon. So yeah, it's been actually quite a squeeze fitting it all in. But we got there in the end. Written submission went in last week. I gave myself a week off. And now I'm planning how I'm going to sort out my revision between now and final assessment. So I just thought I'd talk you through that. So I think perhaps what makes most sense is for me to talk through what I did last time, because even though I did get referred, I do think that my revision technique was actually really good, and I just don't see the point in changing it. So first of all, it's worth noting that I haven't changed my case study at all. In my final assessment, the assessors actually commented and said, we think this is a great case study, it's so interesting, you presented it really well, and I was able to answer all of the questions about it really, really confidently. So if it's not broke, don't fix it. I thought no point in changing my case study. So I've got loads of questions that I had pre-prepared all written out in my notes, and I've got flashcards about it. I've got my flashcards, which is what I used as my basis for my presentation. So whilst I'm obviously going to go over it, that is not a priority for me, my case study. What is a priority is obviously the areas that were highlighted as my areas of weakness. But one moment, Tom's ringing me. At parkrun this morning, we went to parkrun just so I could shake my legs out ahead of tomorrow. On his first lap, face planted. He's going to be so embarrassed when he hears him telling this story. But we've all been there. I broke my ankle running once when I went to step around a bin bag and tripped over, and my ankle crunched underneath me. So he's currently at A&E. I'm not with him because they're imposing full COVID measures at the moment. So I had to drop him off earlier. So he's just saying he's just had his x-ray. So I might have to cut this short so I can go and pick my boyfriend up from A&E. Okay, he's waiting for his x-rays, so I think we'll still be a little while yet. So anyway, back to this. So whilst I will be focusing on the areas that were highlighted as needing more time putting into them, and I knew that it was valuation and development appraisals. I knew it going into the first one, and I know it going into the second one, that those are my areas of weakness. But that doesn't mean that I can forget about the other competencies. So what I have is, it's so simple. I will show you, but it's not groundbreaking by any means. I have a spreadsheet which lists out everything that I need to go through. And what I did last time is I would fill in the date on which I went over that topic. So be it just using my flashcards or going through an online study resource or anything else, I would fill in the date and how did I feel on that day. Did I feel, yeah, I'm confident, they could ask me anything on this subject and I could answer it? Did I feel, okay, I got a few of them right, a few of them wrong, could do with a bit more work? Or did I feel, oh my god, I don't know anything, thank god the assessment isn't tomorrow because I'll definitely fail. And then we give it a RAG rating, a red, amber, green rating based on that. So obviously green is feel really confident, amber is meh, and red is, oh my god, can't do this. And then obviously the aim of it is to get every single competency in green. And by putting the date in that I have studied it, I can then see when I'm looking at things, how often, and then that becomes part of the active recall, which is, there have been so many studies on how active recall is the best method for studying and ensuring that information stays in your brain. So whilst I just have the competencies all listed out by name, I, like I say, because I've done this before, I have all my flashcards made up, and the APC, the questioning part of it, almost all of it comes from your submission documents. The only thing that they sort of tend to go rogue on is ethics, where they will ask you anything from it. So when I say, oh, have I been revising valuation today? It will be, well, on one of my submission examples, I talked about the fact that I undertook evaluation with comparable data. Where did I source that comparable data from, and what did I use to determine what was a good comparable in that evidence? And can I answer these questions? And then your sort of follow-up questions, okay, well, what are the other methods of evaluation? What could you have done differently? Could you have perhaps used the investment method of valuation or the profit method of valuation? So all of these little things. So like I say, I do feel very lucky that I have got all of the resources from last time around. I'm not going to solely rely on them. I will probably be adding to them. But yeah, I don't know. I just feel a lot more confident this time around, and hopefully that will sort of show through in final assessment. But without further ado, is that how you say it? Without further ado, I'm going to show you my spreadsheet. So this is my blank spreadsheet, and it has all of the competencies split out into the tabs. So we've got the mandatory competencies down here. So as you can see, I've not done any revision whatsoever yet, but that's fine. I might look over some ethics today, in which case I would put today's date in, which is 19th of the 3rd, 2022. If I felt okay on it, which I think I feel all right on ethics, then we would give that an amber rating. But if I didn't feel very good on it, we give it a red rating. And then obviously the ultimate aim is to get everything to a green rating, and then we just keep putting the dates in. So say I look at it again in a couple of days time, 22nd of the 3rd, 2022. But this day it didn't actually feel as good, because that just happens. Some days aren't as good as others. So we put it in as amber, but you know, it's fine. Maybe next week I'll look at it again. And this time felt really good. Knew my staff. Yeah, we're gonna smash it. It's a green. So that is my spreadsheet. So I got that for mandatory competencies, technical competencies. I split my case study up into different sections of the case study. So these are my areas of questioning that I'm expected. So the appraisal, the surveys that I undertook, the actual buildings on site, the background of it, the planning, and what I would recommend to do next. And then, oh, this is actually my old CPD log, so I need to change it through. So this was just making sure that I knew all of my CPD from the dates specified. But like I say, this is from last year, so need to go through and change those dates. But what I can do is show you last year's completed revision timetable, and I'm going to get really embarrassed now because I think I actually kind of gave up partway through, but the intention was there, and this year we're going to carry it out. So this is the kind of thing that I'm talking about that I was doing last year. So the first one that you put in, don't give it a rating because it's the first time you're going through it, so it's probably going to feel pretty scary and all this sort of stuff. You can see I was doing loads on ethics, so things were feeling a little bit hairy a lot. And then case study felt really good all the way through, to be honest. So this is the kind of thing that I mean about giving it a rag rating and just continually going over it. So let's use the case study as an example. It always felt like it was going pretty well. So yeah, that's really exciting. And this year I'm going to be better at keeping my spreadsheet up to date. So I hope you found that useful. Like I say, it's super straightforward and not groundbreaking by any means. This is just day one of starting the revision by getting my spreadsheet open and up to date and transferring all of the information from my work laptop, because that's where my final submission documents were and where all of my stuff from last year was, onto my personal laptop, because I kind of want to make quite a bit of a distinction between work and the APC this time around, because like I say, I'm not getting the time at work, so I will sort of, and also it just means that I can leave work at work. So for example, I'm going away next weekend and I probably won't take my work laptop with me, but I'll take my personal laptop just to get in a little bit of revision and that kind of thing. So it kind of separates the two of them a little bit nicer. So yeah, I think we're gonna do it, we're gonna smash it. And yeah, that's all I have to say. I'm just feeling really positive. I do think that the weather's having a big impact on that. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. I will keep you up to date on how this goes, and I will be producing far more videos about my revision when I've actually got myself a bit more sorted and a bit more together. I'll show you my flashcards, my notes from last year, and try and give an update on what I do differently this year, if anything. And yeah, let's all get through this together. And thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.